welcome to another episode of This Is Dope. It's your man Ahmad here to discuss another dope topic, or maybe not so dope topic in tech. Just really depends on your perspective, right? Well, with that being said, let me first start out by saying happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hopefully you had a wonderful day yesterday and you got treated nice, or at least got to relax and didn't have to do any chores around the house. But with that being said, I'm a father myself. So I recently ran into a challenge this weekend. I'll give you guys a little bit of the backstory, right? So as we all know, Father's Day was yesterday on the 20th. Well, my daughter's birthday is on the 20th as well. However, we had our party the day before, okay? So she's at that age now where, my wife and I, we decided to go ahead and get her a phone. Haha, ta-da, a whole new world, whole new set of challenges, all of that good fun stuff, right? But she's a great kid, she earned it, so we went ahead and got her, didn't get her a new phone. She has my old iPhone 11, but activated it for her, got her a girly case, that whole deal, right? With that being said, I had to have a way to restrict the phone to allow her to only do what I wanted her to do. Call who I wanted her to call, text who I wanted her to text, and really just pretty much be able to lock down the phone. And, I actually, as you know, over time, you gain trust, you gain more privileges, more relaxation, but she's just getting it. Had to go ahead and lock that down to keep her safe, and make sure she's responsible with the phone. The challenge, the really big challenge is that she has an iPad that's logged in under that same account, the same iCloud account. So it was, how do I lock that down and still let her be able to do what she does on her iPad, right? You guys have probably guessed that I use Screen Time, Apple's built-in feature, to accomplish that. Both of them Apple devices. Screen Time works great, yay. But it took some tinkering and some figuring out how to accomplish both. And, I kind of figured I'd share with you guys. So that being said, I want to go ahead and definitely do a how-to video. But before I get into it, if you guys would do me a favor, go ahead and mash that like button, hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps me with the magical, mystical YouTube algorithms. And go ahead and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop another video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and cut the rambling. Let's get right to the video. So here we have iPad OS 15. This should work in previous versions of iPad OS where Screen Time is available, right? So the process flow shouldn't be different, right? So this isn't going to take a long time. It's not a long, drawn-out thing. It's actually a pretty quick process. So the first thing you're going to want to do is click on Settings. Then you're going to want to go down to Screen Time, which should be right above your General section, right? So I have the family plan. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to go underneath Family, highlight whoever it is that you want to control the settings for, and then what you'll want to do is start configuring. So we're going to tackle what I did with her phone first. So I went in under Communications, right? And what I did is I configured who she could contact during Screen Time. So Screen Time is the time that, for those of you who are not familiar with the Screen Time app or concept, Screen Time is the time that you're allowing them to operate like you normally would want them to operate on the device. You may still have some apps blocked or things like that you don't ever want them to use, but this is your most permissive time, right? That you're allowing them to do things. Now, the other thing you have to remember is that Screen Time works on a per user basis, not a per device basis. So you can't configure, not that I've found, let me give you that caveat, I have not found that you can configure Screen Time on individual devices logged in under the same user, right? So with that being said, what I did was I went in here and I set allow communication to contacts only. So she's only able to call and message and FaceTime people that we have in our contacts list. So her contacts list is not synced between myself and my wife's. That way she doesn't pull in the millions of contacts I have. What we've done is add contacts individually for family members and, a couple of friends we were allowing her to communicate. And it's controlling it in that way, right? One of the other things you're going to want to do is during downtime, set that, right? And what downtime is after screen time, after the hours that you've determined that you're allowing them to operate as normal, there's downtime. That's pretty much lockdown, right? So what we've specified is that she can only call us or communicate with us during downtime. That way, if she's spending the night at a friend's house or whoever, and she needs us for whatever reason, she can always get a hold of us, right? You can put whoever else here. It's simple as just adding contacts, and then you go ahead and obviously put the contact details in. Now, another thing you're going to want to do is enable managing her or his contacts, right? I mean, if you don't, then, they're going to be able to do whatever, or you'll have to, they're going to be able to, manipulate the contacts, which pretty much defeats the purpose of having a contact list, right? And then you're also going to want to disable allow contact editing. So what that does is prohibits them from adding any contacts. So if she meets a new friend in school or whatever and just wants to add their number, that's not happening. You need to jot that number down, bring it back to us. If we, deem this is a person that you should be talking to, great. I'm not going to get into a philosophical thing here about, how you, police your kids' communications, but this is an option, right? So another thing that we've done is this, right? So you have to go ahead and go into downtime and set what the downtime is. So our downtime is between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m., which means that she is not allowed to communicate with anybody except for those in those specific contacts between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. And we enabled block it downtime, and then we set it for every day, right? And it had to turn on scheduled as well. So this is where it got interesting. As I stated earlier, you configure these settings on a per user basis, not a per device basis. So she has an iPad logged in under the same account. So with this configured and me not modifying anything else, at 8 p.m., all of her iPad apps are pretty much going to lock up, right? Which is not what we want. So what you do is you go into here, go to allow, always allowed, and then you select apps that you don't mind her using after whatever downtime starts, right? So I sat down with her, and got a list of apps that she wanted to have enabled, and then also, threw in a couple of apps in there that I thought, she should have enabled just in case I wanted to, read or work on something or whatever, right? So what you do is you go down here, and there'll be a list of these applications that you can just click the plus sign next to, and it'll go up to allowed apps. You also can manipulate the specific contacts up in here if you don't manipulate it in the other one, right? So now what we do is we go out of here. You also have the ability to control content, obviously, TV ratings, music, stuff like that, yada, 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 right? Then what you do is you go out of here. Voila, it's done. That's it. It's not rocket science. Like I said, it's quick, simple. My daughter is relatively young. She's old enough that we feel to get a phone, but not old enough that we feel that we don't have to monitor her. So this came in handy. For all of you parents or caregivers out there who are in a similar situation, hopefully you guys will find this useful. But that's it. It's not rocket science. It's not hard to do. So, hopefully you guys found that informative, helpful, entertaining, just something positive or at least good background noise for whatever it is you're doing while you're watching and listening to this YouTube video or listening to this YouTube audio in the background, right? But anyway, if you did if you did like it, definitely go ahead and mash the like button, subscribe to the channel for me, hit the notification bell. But as you guys can see, this was not rocket science. This is not something overly complicated, not something overly complex, not something that takes a lot of time. You just have to think it out, plan it out, And really, I sat down with my daughter and really discussed what apps that she uses on her iPad. So that's how I was able to come up with the apps that she wants. And then, of course, I added in the applications that I want. And it worked out. I mean, she's happy. Everything's working great. I'm sure I'm going to have to tweak it somewhat, but, it's definitely doing its job. So, with that being said, hopefully you guys have had, a great day. Will have a wonderful rest of your day. Having a great week. I know it's Monday, it's starting out, but I hope you have a great rest of your week. And really, I have some other things I need to get done. So I just want to drop this on you guys. So I'm out.